All right, so this last book that we're going to be talking about here is the 10x Mentor. This is why I need to read the 10x rule first. All of the books should be read before this book because this is a summary that's going to touch on all of the key points that you're going to learn in the books before this one. So, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go over these topics right here just to help you have a bigger understanding outside of what this book tells you to do. Because it's obviously going to tell you to talk to a lot of people. It says right here, go big or go bigger. I'm just going to explain to you what that actually looks like in real life because even though these people are billionaires, they forget that like most people aren't really starting with like $100 million or they're not in that place. So, number one, talks about commit right here. This is where you have the One Thing by Gary Keller. This is like commit and set goals. So these two right here in one. Commitment would be like time blocking, choosing something that you're going to commit your time to. So, for instance, I recorded this video. I accidentally had music playing in the background. I can't use that copy of this video. So now I have to record another one. So I'm committing myself to finishing this video right here, right now. So my goal that I'm setting is to finish this video right here, right now. So when you come to committing to something and setting a goal, that's going to align with the infinite game, which is finite goals and non-finite goals, and then time blocking to specifically choose a task and commit to that specific task because the finite of that task is going to align with the infinite game. So whatever your infinite goal is. So for instance, reading all of those other books before you read this book. Now, when it comes to getting known, um, yeah, there's many ways you can do this. In the program, we talk about picking up the phone and cold calling strangers. That is probably the easiest way to become known. Second to running advertisements online, depending on the platforms you run advertisements online nowadays. Specifically, if you're selling an online course, you're going to get a lot of hate in that area. So becoming known or getting known on like Facebook for selling a course, very toxic area. Other platforms not as toxic. So, for instance, getting known very simple. You can run advertisements, you can call people, you can take the flyers that we have in the program, you can take those flyers and deliver them to local businesses, you can go walk to local businesses, you can talk to people. This is where we talk about the power base. But getting known when you're first starting out, even if you have money, master the cold call. Master the ability to communicate with absolute strangers and get them interested in your products because that's going to be the most powerful tool that you're going to have to use at some point in time. You can easily build a SaaS company, software as service, not talk to anybody and sell that. But if you're following what we outline, we prefer people become very artisan communicators because then you're going to be able to communicate and sell services that are not even yours, which is the best part that you just say, oh, yeah, this, okay, here, go here. So, committing, those are the other books, which is really simple. Just pick something that you want, setting the goals, finding what you want, making that big ass goal that seems unrealistic, work towards it. You'll get there. Trust me on that one. And then getting known, very simple. Now, create a narrative about yourself. So, the narrative about yourself is going to be more based on like what your story actually was. Like, for a lot of people, they might not want to go down this path. Like, a lot of people are going to be like, I would never do that. Well, I was one of those people that would never do that until I hit a version of rock bottom in my own life. And I was like, well, what can I do? Because what I'm doing right now sucks. So the narrative that you build about yourself is going to be based on your story. So, like, I've been homeless. So anytime someone else says that they've been homeless, I'm like, oh, I get that. I mean, I wasn't really homeless. I lived in a car. So, like, that's a part of my story. That's a part of my narrative where like I've been in these really dark places. So that fuels this narrative where I'm like, hey, read these books. Because if you don't read these books, then you're going to be missing a large majority of the mindset that's required to be successful in either the health area or the wealth area. Because eating healthier, yeah, that's not simple. I gagged up kale in a sink for a week just trying to eat healthier foods. They tasted so bad because I was used to eating the unhealthy foods that were filled with ingredients that tasted really good. So the narrative that you're going to create is because of your past. Like, I've gone through suffering from money. I don't anymore. I've gone through suffering eating crappy foods and feeling depressed. I don't anymore. So, creating your narrative, he'll speak on that one a little bit, but it's really just like, what do you want to do with your life? Go do it because no one's going to stop you. Imagine right now in a foreign country, it's 11:43 p.m. It is daytime somewhere else and somebody is selling something to somebody. Somebody is selling a car right now. Somebody's selling their next biggest idea. Somebody just went and bought a new cell phone. There is narrative all around the world happening in all moments, and nobody knows who you are. Like, think 5 years from now, if you've been working on your goal and you get really good at, let's say you're a yoga teacher and you just got your yoga certification, you started building out your yoga brand and you're building all of this narrative around your yoga brand. And then 5 years later, a random person stumbles across your brand. They have no clue where you came from absolutely at all. The frame of reference for them is absolutely zero unless they go and learn about you or decide, maybe they brought a pre-existing frame of reference. So now connecting on this one is obviously, it doesn't talk about in this book, but connect with yourself first. Like, really fully understand, like, okay, I have this ability to do absolutely anything that I want to do, but what is it that I actually want to do? Because I will tell you firsthand, if you are just trying to make more money and you're going to go do something that you believe is going to make you money, you're going to give up on that down the road. So connect with yourself, really fully understand what it is that you really want. And then when you connect with other people, you're going to be connecting with other people based on what you truly want. Like, I want people to be healthier, happier, have a better mindset, make as much money as they want, live wherever they want. And I'm happy when I connect with other people that are actually looking for that, because I'm like, yeah, it's totally possible, but you're gonna have to do a lot of work that you don't want to do to get to where you want to be. But if you're willing to put the work in, you should get there. Like, there shouldn't be this many programs, aka why we're reviewing another book together. There shouldn't be all of these programs on the internet that say, here's a skill, go do this. But then they forget that a majority of the people that end up in these programs are the ones that didn't go to college. They are working a job they don't like. They may have never read books before. They're desperate to improve the quality of their reality, or they just want to improve the quality of their reality. I'm the type of person that'll buy a course immediately. If I don't understand something and I'm about to start to go do it, I go buy a few courses and watch them just to say, okay, maybe it's going to increase my frame of reference more than it is right now. But when you're looking at like the connecting factors and then improving right here, moving on to the next one, you're just going to make a better reality for everyone involved, because you're actually giving people the stepping stones or the backstory or all of the information that they would need to be able to help themselves. And also, I've never been in a single program that gave me books to read. Like, not a single program. Even from entrepreneurs that stand in front of bookshelves, their entire programs don't give you books. And you're just like, so wait a minute. I signed up for this course. I'm supposed to book a call, and then you guys want to coach me. I thought this course was going to help me understand how things work. So I challenge you, if this is your first course that you're in, go buy other ones and then be confused. You're just like, wait a minute, this course actually didn't even show me a single book to read. The books are the keys that set you free, because if you read these and you 10x in any area, absolutely any area, you could sell stickers. And if you 10x in that area and you follow this, you will be the sticker salesman of the year. No joke. Now, improving, this is simple. You're always going to improve. Like, the first time I created my 50 brain cell challenge PDF, which you can probably Google, it's still online, looks very like kind of put together like a 5-year-old, just because I had the concept in my brain. I was like, how can I interpret this to explain it to somebody else? And we've improved upon that. Same thing with like my ability to communicate. Yeah, I've improved upon that a lot, because I was too scared to talk out loud because I'd be worried about somebody thinking something of me and then somebody saying something of me and then me not having control of my emotions at all. I would go into reactive rage. So you're always going to improve in every area of your life by default if you are trying to improve. Just think about improving yourself and creating that forward momentum. You'll make everything so much easier. Thinking about exercising specifically would be one of them. How do you wake up earlier and exercise? You wake up earlier and exercise, and through the Habits of a Happy Brain and the book called The One Thing That You Will Read by now, you'll realize that it's just a habit to improve in your life. So improvement is very calculable. You can easily choose the quality of life that you want in the future. You just got to focus on it right now. So now, motivate. That's the reason we put the 5 second rule by Mel Robbins in here. There's no such thing as motivation. You're going to feel motivated when you first start doing something, but let me just tell you, based on experience, doing things like this every single day for more than 12 hours, you kind of run out of this motivated area. You're more of like, okay, this is going to happen next. This happens here. Like, when I'm on my TikTok lives, I'm like, okay, there's going to be people that ask me, like, they have no idea what I do at all. They're going to arrive and they're going to ask the same question that's been asked to me probably 3 to 5 thousand times. And then usually I answer it wrong to some people, right to other people. But I've learned that, like, if I am here like motivationally being like, oh my gosh, yeah, totally, like another person's going to pick up on that narrative and then they're going to act based on me being motivated and motivating them, which is cool, but motivation is also not real. So it's kind of like I create a barrier for people where I don't want them to be like falsely motivated in taking action on what I provide because I'm giving them this like false motivation. So motivate right here. This is more or less like motivating yourself with something that you like, but then realizing that that shit's not real. So whenever he talks about this stuff, just read the 5 second rule by Mel Robbins and take this like as a grain of salt because you're not going to feel motivated to do these things. Motivating other people, yeah, there's some use in that here and there, but it's an internal motivation. Like if you motivate somebody and they're not actually motivated, like they don't really want to do it, like they haven't been looking around for 5 years how to solve their problem. They only realized they had a problem today. The chances of them finding that solution for their problem today versus somebody that's been looking for 5 years, very different area. So now create multiple streams of income. Do not do this at first. Definitely have like one very solid stream of income that's absolutely reliable. So, for instance, if you're in the program here, you might want to focus on chatbots. Very simple, very reliable, very predictable, contractable, easy to sell. When people reject you, we're not interested. Well, you know what? I came prepared for you to not be interested, and I'd be willing to set this up on your website for free. You like free stuff? I mean, no fee unless we get money for you. So, multiple streams of income, that comes in time. Like, you don't want to immediately jump into like 19 different ways to make money because then you're going to make like, well, we'll give you an example. And that's actually in this program. So, we'll give you an example of like affiliate links. Like, you can embed affiliate links. If you buy the books that I have, I think I make like 25 cents on a book from the affiliate link or probably less. But some people buy like weird other items. So, I can see you buying weird things on Amazon. I don't know who you are though, but creating multiple streams of income, like stream of income number one, people buying into this program. Stream of income number two, people buying books that I suggest. Stream of income number three, nutrigenomics test. Four, gut microbiome test. Five, blood test. Six, coaching. Seven, diet plans. So you will get to multiple streams of income. But if you're just starting out, it's really important to only pick a few because not only will you confuse yourself trying to optimize and manage every single one of them, and like maximize them and create projections for them, you'll confuse everybody else because they'll be like, whoa, this is a lot of stuff. So this program, yeah, this would be technically confusing for somebody because there's so many different things inside of it. But the whole goal is I've been through too many, and that's just where I'm coming from, where I just wanted to put as many people as I possibly can inside of here. So multiple streams of income, all you got to recognize on multiple streams of income is first mastering each stream specifically. So when it comes to the course creation, yeah, I've been through so many of these that I figured I know how to build a better one based on the fact of been through hundreds of them and realizing none of them had books, aka the books conversation again. Like guarantee you, if you want to do something with your life, like something big, you want to be really good at health, you want to do something that is of magnitude, spend it. Like the world's not going anywhere. Like if I could get one point across to you in this last book here, and there's going to be more health books down below this one, but this is just the last one for mindset. Realize that everybody right now is equally hungry. They all want success, and I want success now, and I'm unhappy at my job unless I'm making money. That's the narrative being pushed to you in society right now. Ignore that shit. Stop. Take a second. Spend all next year doing nothing but reading books on the topics that you really want to be good at. Don't be the random person that reads a book and then makes a TikTok saying, oh, yeah, like I read this book and there's these really cool things in it. You're not going to understand the value of a book until maybe 6, 7 months down the road when you've been actively acting on the information that was in the book. Like you're not going to understand the other side of cold calling until you've been cold calling for a few months. And then you really understand, oh, the people literally do not say anything outside of the scripts. We're not interested. Well, yeah, I wouldn't be either. You don't know me and I don't know you. Just looking for a chance to introduce myself and company. Is this a good email on your website? So you're going to realize as you go down the road that many, many, many people want the same things as you. And if you're the one who can delay the instant gratification, put your fucking head down and read and really truly educate yourself on a specific topic. Voila. And then you'll create a unique concept of some way, shape, and form, hopefully. That's why I built the 50 Brain Cell Challenge. We get tens of thousands of people downloading it. Why? Because it's completely unique. It never existed until I created it, and it took me a very long time to create it. So, speaking into multiple streams of incomes, deviating away from it a little bit, going into the go bigger, you want to go big? Think about density, mass, and then big objects take a really long time to stop. You can't stop objects once they're so big because there's too much momentum. A very large object moving extremely fast, get out of the way, because there are going to be people that stand up against you. I mean, I get like random videos that I don't watch about people saying things about me, and I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Helping too many people, so therefore I don't care about the people that don't like me. It's just really, really, really truly educate yourself on a specific topic, and then topics that surround that topic, because you might not understand the layering information. That's why I'm giving you these books. So now, in a reverse engineered process, you're not in the living in the illusion of the fear of truth because of your childhood traumas anymore. So we start back as far as we can and we make it forward as far as we can as adults, where we have the ability to pick up our phones and call people and talk to them, but we're scared for some weird reason. So I would say, if anything, spend the next few years reading books and educating yourself, because the world's not going anywhere. 5 years from now, people are still going to wake up and want new ways to make money. 5 years from now, people are going to wake up and they're going to be unhealthy. 5 years from now, somebody's going to go through a divorce and they're going to be really unhappy and they're going to want to improve the quality of their life. I will be there for them. So, really, 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 truly think about what it is that you want to be doing, and sit down and educate the fuck out of yourself, because you're going to get people to challenge you, and that sounds great. So, like, to tell you all right now, I didn't plan on doing any of this until 2023. So, if you're watching this and it's not like late end of year 2023, congratulations, you got to see a majority of this being created. And I've been asked to go on podcasts, and I just kind of always say no, because I'm not where I want to be with the information that I'm putting back out there into the universe via this website, for myself to go to these other resources, because then when people come this way, they're going to be missing certain things. So if you're watching this video and my mindset page is finished, then, well, there you go. That's an example of go bigger, go big as shit, where I'm literally taking books and reverse engineering them and creating documents for them so people don't have to waste their time reading them anymore. Because some books, honestly, you're going to learn like one sentence, like the 5 second rule. You read that book, five, four, three, two, one. Oh, I guess I got to go do stuff because I'm not going to feel motivated. There you go. But the stories from other people are going to be great. Creating wealth, that's about 1.3 to 2.2 million census bureaus. Not sure exactly which one is correct there. Creating wealth, once again, takes time. Do not be that person that just delusionally jumps into the internet and says, I need to be making $100,000 from my dreams and ideas right now, or I'm not going to be happy. Yo, start paying for your damn coffee first. Like, humble the shit out of yourself and recognize it's 10 times harder than you think it is. Everybody online tells you, flip stacks, I make $10,000 every morning. You want to learn how to do that too? Click the link down below. And then 99.9999999% of people that buy that don't actually succeed at it, because the foundations aren't there for a person to support the success in their own life. Like, the amount of work that it takes doesn't exist. So creating wealth, that's something that happens usually when you're older, or if you get lucky. Like, if you genuinely build an e-commerce store and you find the right product, you get lucky, send it, congratulations. It's not very fulfilling. It's just a number sign on your phone that lets you do things and stuff. It does not internally change the way that you feel about the world around you. You know, going around to different coffee shops in different places, it just becomes another coffee shop in another place. Oh, look, another forest. Oh, look, another coffee shop. Oh, look, another town with buildings and stuff. Like, going to Las Vegas, not that impressive. You go there during the daytime, you're going to be like, wow, this is nothing like I thought it was, because the majority of the time you see Las Vegas is always during night in videos. So, don't let expectations and reality not be the same thing. Wealth takes time. Don't even be focusing on that. Focus on the fact that if you do set a goal and you commit to those goals and you create multiple streams of income down the road, you will in fact become wealthy if that is your goal. But beyond $100,000, you're not changing too much. Your responsibilities are going to change. I think it was like $324,000 somebody was talking about. Like, once you get past that, it's kind of just like, like when you look at what entrepreneurs that make millions of dollars a year actually pay themselves, you say, oh, wow, okay. And then if you can think of a way to be able to pay yourself that much monthly without creating a shit ton of extra work for yourself, aka chatbots, automated inventory advertisements, you recognize, oh, wow, okay, this is not as stressful as I thought it was. Now, market yourself. Back to the same thing as get known. These are like repeating topics inside of here. So, marketing yourself, same thing. Creating a program like this, putting other people's assets out there. I'm helping these people market themselves because they've helped me so much. So when it comes to marketing yourself, same thing. Pick up the phone, call people, boom. If they don't know you, they can't buy from you, can they? Take flyers, go to businesses. If they don't know you, they can't buy from you, can they? Start with very, very small steps, such as putting a retargeting advertisement on your website, spending $3 to $5 a day. Like if you go to the Facebook ads portion of the program, which is going to be down below, you're going to see me literally set up an advertisement here on the homeostasisdiet.com, retargeting initiate checkouts and showing you how it generates income. Like I don't know how to prove these things to you more than just doing them myself. And then I start with a very reserved amount of money that anybody else can afford based on simple alterations in lifestyle. Like I started fasting every other day because I recognized it helped me save money. It wasn't the real reason that I was doing it, but I recognized that I was saving so much money and I could spend way more on books because if I didn't eat that day, I could always afford to buy a book. I could afford to actually buy 2 books for how much money I was wasting on garbage food. So when it comes to marketing yourself, just put yourself out there. Like there's going to be millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and hundreds of millions of people that don't even know you exist and you will die. And then recognize that only 19% of the world actually speaks English. So like we're scared of this like minute percent of humans that can even understand us and comprehend us. So when it comes to marketing yourself, fucking send it. Don't let any thought that you've been taught to think hold you back. Your random friends you had when you were younger, they're going to disappear immediately. Anybody that you think is going to attack you in a negative way, congratulations. Thank you so much. I really hope you post a video of how much you dislike me on the internet because all that's going to do is create attention, more money. So choose great partners. It's going to talk on both sides. Like, of course, in a relationship, you want to have somebody who's on the same page as you, who's willing to put in the same amount of motivation, who has the same work ethics as you. But then choosing great partners, same thing with business as well. Sometimes you work with people you like, sometimes you work with people that you don't like. Choosing great partners, that's not an area that I can speak into too much because obviously I don't have a partner. So I can't really tell you anything on that one. Obviously, this is a sales book right here. But yeah, you want to be in a relationship with somebody that has the ideal goals and ambitions as you. And then when it comes to like partners in business, you want to partner with other people who are kind of on the same page as you. Like I prefer to be around people that I like just because in reality, I don't have to be around anybody. Just like realize that you don't have to be around anybody unless you want to be with the way that the world exists nowadays. Like it is very easy to just be an absolute nobody and make as much money as you want. Like nobody has to, you don't have to have Forbes articles, you don't have to have be famous, you don't have to have any of that. I ain't got none of that. None of that stuff even matters. Like every bit of the internet, as much as people think that it matters, it actually doesn't. You go talk to a business owner and you're like, yeah, did you get a chance to check my website out? Oh, you guys have a website? No, I didn't get a chance to check that out. There you go. Look at that. Somebody paying you $1,500 a month. Oh, yeah. I didn't even know you guys had a website. So when you think all of these things need to be in place, they don't actually need to be in place. This is probably my favorite part right here. Get rid of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Yeah. Get rid of everything. And this is what I did, and you don't have to do this, but if you really truly want to go through these changes and morph your person into the one that you want to be, like think about the exact ideal life that you dream of living, and then recognize it's going to take you a few years to get there. You're going to fail along the way. It's going to be kind of hard here and there. You're going to struggle. You're going to get setbacks. You're going to fail. It's normal. But in a little bit of time, you'll actually make it there. But then recognize that when you're there, it's no different than where you are right now. Like if you're only making $2,000 a month and you make $5,000 a month, it's not going to improve too much in reality. You might not stress and struggle with bills, which would be nice. You can go do more things, but just how you feel in general is not going to change too much. But what's going to happen is you recognize the people that you've been around, they're the reason why you were where you were. So when you think about this, get rid of the people. I'm not friends with a single person that I grew up with, not a single one. Even my one friend that I probably spent about 9 years of my life playing video games with almost every single day, I barely talk to that person anymore. Last time we talked, we were setting up a script on a website. And I was like, yo, man, I'll pay you for this. And he's like, no, that's cool. And I was like, okay, sweet. Like, I'm going to insist that I pay you, but if you're going to tell me I don't have to pay you, then I'm not going to pay you. And I have his Venmo anyways, so I paid him anyways because I'm not going to not pay a person for time that they spend with me, because now that I can, I will. But back in the day, oh my God, free stuff all day. So get rid of the people, which means friends, family. Sorry, you might not like that, but your family members are sometimes the most toxic people that are around you, and they will prevent you from going where you want because you'll tell them an idea and they'll tell you, oh, that sounds crazy. Good. That must mean that it's a really good idea then. Places. What this means is that you might be in a place that does not accurately serve you. I was in a city, grew up in a city for about 30 years. COVID happened, and then life happened, and then I wasn't in the city anymore. So think about a place that you want to be. Now, being in a big city, those are cool. There's a lot of amenities, there's a lot more businesses, there's a lot more stuff going on for sure. But the best place for me, having had been somewhere, left, and came back, the best place for me is a forest. It's beautiful. I love when it snows. I like going through the seasons. The air quality is absolutely pristine. You can literally smell a car drive by. So like really think about like where you actually want to live, and then recognize if you take this program serious like everyone else, you will be able to live there. It's really not that hard. Like it is not hard to go do what you want to do. It's just the amount of effort and direction that most people have is a little bit off. Because if you've grown up around the wrong people, you've definitely ended up in the wrong place. Yeah, wrong word, or you get the right words to go to the right place, and the wrong words take you to the wrong place. And if you have to get rid of people, then you should probably also just get out of where you grew up, because the frame of reference in your own town is just gonna like might trigger traumas inside of your brain to remind you to stay in the same place. Like it was bad for me. So that's why I'm giving you all these books. Now, things that no longer serve you. Let me give you an example of something that did not serve me. I remember specifically printing out business cards, being motivated, ready to go. Like, I'm going to go do this, and today's the day. Yeah, no. That wasn't the day at all. Not at all. Definitely like thought it was the day. I really was like motivating myself. I'm like, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I didn't do that at all. So things that no longer serve me. What no longer served me was this retreatment slash anxiety ridden lifestyle where I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I could help, but then I would just not help anybody. So I took business cards. I went to an art festival, and I thought to myself, yeah, I'm going to hand out business cards to everybody. Like everybody's going to get one of these. Everybody's going to know who I am. And you want to know how many business cards I gave out? One. One total business card out of like probably hundreds of vendors. And somehow, just based on where my consciousness was, like things that no longer serve you, think about your entire thought process no longer serving you and having to get rid of that, because it creates this reality where you're poor and you eat garbage and you're unhappy and you have nothing going for you. That's where I started. So the things that no longer served me were the things that prevented me from allowing me to execute my thoughts. Like I knew what I wanted to do, but then, oh wait, subconscious scripts don't actually support that reality, so I just didn't do it. But what I did was I walked around every single place. I was like, I'm going to go look at them. Like I literally, we're going to talk about this in one sec, but walked around every single place, and then I saw one and I was like, oh, I saw that guy's stuff on Instagram before. It's like really awesome. And then I was going to go give him a business card, convinced myself out of it, walked away, was like, no, having this conversation with myself. Like, you're going to go through this stuff if you decide to like build your own brand and put it out there. Maybe not. Maybe you didn't have a crappy lifestyle like me growing up, but this is what I had to go through. So I had to convince myself to go back. I was like, no, you came here for this. So I went back and I, just asked. It was, my heart was pounding out of my chest. But then I just gave him a business card and he said that was awesome. And then obviously I didn't know how to close back then, so it just didn't work too well. But the things that no longer served me was myself. Like, get rid of the things that no longer serve you. I had to get rid of my entire personality because it did not serve me anymore. It just created suffering. It was fucking terrible. So you might be in that place where if you do wake up tomorrow and you're not like super ecstatic and happy to do everything that you're going to do, consider like really just finding out how to just like take your personality and all the things and just dump them down the toilet. Like, don't stick your face in there and give yourself a whatever those things are. I forget what they're called, but don't give yourself one of those. Just realize that your entire person might be the reason you're suffering, and your entire person has been created by the people that you've chosen to spend your time around and the places you spend your time. So the people that I was around, all very bad people. The places that I was around, all other people that kind of gave up on reality. And the things that no longer served me was the people and the places and the thoughts that I had. So I literally had to get rid of everything. That's why we give you the subconscious affirmations in here to listen to when you sleep at night, the reprogrammings, the meditations, keeping your brain in the most plastic state possible. Same thing with the 15-minute timers to really pay attention and say, beep, beep, beep. Oh, what am I doing right now? Okay, probably should be reading, but I'm not reading. So I'm going to go read. Like those are real things that you have to force yourself to do to get to where you want to be. It's not some magical motivation path. Like if motivation was the answer, like if you think you're going to be motivated to pick up a book and read every single day, you might be for a few years because it's going to invalidate the hell out of you. But then you're going to reach a point where you just read a book and you're like, crap, this one's a repeat of that one. Like this person's saying the same thing as this person. Like, wait, what? So just read, learn, and remove the things that don't matter anymore because matter can't matter unless it matters to you, right? Hashtag mindset page. Now, executing, most important part. This is the biggest part that everyone fails on, and it's executing something. Saying, I am going to build this PDF, I am going to run this advertisement, and I'm going to set it up and have it done ready to go on Sunday because it needs to be done for Monday. So, a good thing of execution, I'll give you a plan. Building a landing page, getting ready for Black Friday sales, setting up a landing page, building out a bunch of advertisements, and blasting probably about 90% of revenue into ads, just taking everything and just and sending it to people that have never heard of me before. So what that means is excluding everybody that has ever interacted with my brand on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the website, just removing all of those. Obviously some people are going to accidentally see them because ads are weird, but remove and reach new people only. So that's a form of execution. Executing would be like, I'm going to go do this. So for instance, the 3 minute, not the 3 minute audit videos, the flyers that we give you here, executing would be creating those flyers, printing them out, handwriting the docs, and then putting on nice clothes and going to physically introduce yourself and company, walking in the building. Hi, how are you doing? My name is whatever, and I was looking for a chance to introduce myself and company. I was wondering if the owner was in today. I wanted to drop this off. And then zip, they're going to tell you what to do. And I cannot even make this up. The very first place that I walked into, it was the owner sitting right there, and they had no customers in there, which was perfect because that's where the marketing world goes. Like somebody's sitting at the front desk, oh, this is you. This is really awesome. He's talking to me while he opens it. I was like, oh, good. This guy can process. This is why you want to read these books, because if you're in an interaction with somebody who has read these and you have not, they're going to like ask for 50% discounts. Do you know how to rebuttal a 50% discount? Are you gonna be confident enough to say, well, we'd definitely be able to offer you a 50% discount, but I kind of set this up to put an account manager on your account full time, so we can definitely give you a 50% discount, but I'm going to need to restructure the deal a little bit. Is that okay? You got to know what to do or you're going to get walked over in the world. Like, it is real. The reader be read thing, very real. Like when you sit down in a room with people that are way high achievers, their body language, it's incredible. So, for instance, like my mentor, I asked him a question, stares at me for a few seconds. I was like, great. And then tells me go read a book. And then I go read a book. And then I'm like, oh, shit, okay, this book. Yeah, I'm going to go do this now. So, people that push you away in sense of reality, it's not because they don't want to push you away. It's because they have other shit to go do. So the execution is not, oh, I'm going to spend my time catering to this random thing in the universe that is so simple to solve. So just go read this book. Have a great day. It's like what I do on my TikTok lives when people ask me these questions and I'm just like, go read this. And the people that do, they always come back and they're like, wow, this book's so good. And the people that don't, they just get angry and upset and then they think I'm attacking them. When in reality, I'm just like, hey, go execute, go do this, go do this. So when it comes to executing in this, it's really just like doing what you need to do and not really thinking about it or worrying about it, aka why we gave you the untethered soul and living in the illusion of the fear of truth by Osho. Like you just got to go do these things and you can't be worried too much. Like if you know it's something that's good for the world, don't second guess yourself, because think about it this way. You could easily nowadays do something completely useless for humanity and make tons of money from it, or you can show up and do something useful for humanity and make tons of money from it. One of them is easier than the other 100%. We'll just say that the thing that girls are doing in reality nowadays, not very useful for anybody, creating a lot of mental issues, emotional problems probably in society, especially among men. And it's very easy for people to do, I guess. I don't know. I don't do it. Or you could actually build a business where you have to like work with other people, help them. You have to be educated enough to be able to serve them in a specific way. There's a lot of communication to happen. So it's like pick what you really want to do with your life, because you can do whatever you want with your life, but you have to execute on whatever it is that you want to be doing. Follow up. Follow up's huge. Most people are not going to buy from you immediately. They might check you out a little bit, look here and there. Like we have scripts on the website that tell us where people go, so we know where people are looking, we know what they're doing. And the follow-up process would be, okay, somebody joins our free service, we might send them an email about a discount that we have. Like our next email that goes out, it's going to be a Black Friday email, letting people know that they're going to have a discount. It's probably going to be the same discount that exists right now, 50% off. Probably going to change due in time if you're watching this video now. So I don't know if there's going to be a discount, but I know the price of the program is going to continuously be going up. So anybody that's in here, you're grandfathered into whatever you paid for it. There is no updated price or monthly whatever. So follow up is huge, because if you call a person and they're interested, this is like the 3-minute audit stuff. Yeah, that sounds great. Awesome. Give them a call back. That's a follow up. Hey, Bob, this is Josh over here. I just wanted to give you a call, let you know I was sending over that video audit that I told you I was going to send yesterday. You got a second to go over it? Right there. That's follow up and then trying to close. So following up is huge. You're going to have to follow up multiple times before you talk to somebody. Like every once in a while, after you're more established, you'll get somebody that calls and says, hey, you still doing this stuff? And you're like, yeah, I'm still doing this stuff. And they're like, sweet, can you come meet? And you're like, yeah, it sounds great. But that's not the reality. Most of it is like you call somebody, they might not be interested. That's great. You can call them again later. Like, for instance, I know when somebody's prospecting, because they'll call so many times and they'll call around the same time every single day. And that's stuff that I pick up on. Maybe I'm crazy for that. So just pay attention to other people's follow up process. Like if you ever really want to understand how stuff works, like go to the entrepreneurs that label themselves as these gazillionaires, when in reality they just like rent a person's house, stand in front of a fancy house because it lowers their cost per click by like 10 cents when you rent it in foreign countries, because you got to realize that people in foreign countries have absolutely no frame of reference on the poundings that people have been taking in America with advertisements. So when you run their ads, like, oh, look at my, fancy car over here. People are like, whoa, fancy car. They must know something. No, they just rented it so you could think that they know something. So that's a lot of what's happening in the world. But go engage with those platforms and watch how they follow you up, right? Like that right there. If you ever want the answers to like how this stuff really works, go look how other people are doing their follow up. Like go sign up for an email list from somebody that you're like, I want to be exactly like this person. Don't sign up like that for me, because I am not that person. I stick strictly to like interacting with real humans. And I'm not saying people on the internet are not real humans. It's just like, where's your next $5,000 coming from? If you don't know the answer to that question, you might want to figure it out. But follow up is huge. Most people do not do follow up, and you will realize that the sale is always going to happen in the follow up. And another example to send this one home would be the retargeting advertisements that we show you with the initiate checkouts. That's an example of follow up. Deal with setbacks. So, this in time, you won't really have them. Like, it's really like, I remember when I recorded this the first time, which is about 38 minutes. Right now it's 37 minutes. So yeah, we can sit here and talk for hours about a specific book, just because some books deserve hours of value. Like some people will tell you, oh, this person's a scammer. Like, yeah, totally. Delusions. But setbacks, they don't really happen after a while. Like your setbacks when you first start are just going to be purely because you don't understand. Like you don't understand that, oh crap, I should have done this before I did that. So a setback is, well, I thought I was here, but I'm actually here. Like that's a normal setback that's going to happen when you first start. But as you progress through this, there really aren't any setbacks. Like if you call a person and they say they're not interested, that's not a setback. If you want to eat healthier and you eat unhealthy food, that's not really a setback. It's just your brain is not in the place to support the reality that you want. So setbacks, I don't really believe that they happen. I'm sure they do in some way, shape, or form. Like everybody could label something as a setback. Like, let me think for a second here. Like genuinely, if I try to think of a setback, okay, here would be a perfect example. I recorded this video once over, but I was accidentally playing music in the background, which completely blocked out the voice. So I had to re record it. Is that a setback? No. I probably just get to re record it and maybe make it a little bit easier, and comprehension goes up. Because if you did it once and you said some things about it and you do it again, the way that you comprehended it, the first way you explained it, it's going to be a little bit better the second time you explain it. It's going to be better the third time you explain it, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. So dealing with setbacks, what if you genuinely 10x and you have tons of people in your pipeline, someone doesn't want to work with you? If that was your only person that was work with you, that'd be considered a setback, I guess. But if you have 20 people that want to work with you and 10 of them don't want to work with you, I don't see no setbacks there. So The big, big, big purpose of this is recognizing to go big or literally go home, because if you don't go big, then you're missing out on like 99% of the world. And recognize there's always these small pockets of reality that exist, these small groupings of people that spend some time and energy together to create a new equal space, which is what we're doing right now by reviewing these books together. And hopefully you read these books and you take notes in these books and you take this shit seriously, because like you can go do whatever you want to do, but if you miss certain books, you're going to be like, dang, like everybody reads books from other people that have figured it out. And then all you got to do is just accept the fact that you don't understand it all and then just do what they tell you to do. And this one specifically, there are no setbacks. You're supposed to just continuously improve the quality of your life. And it's really not that hard. It's really uncomfortable and it sucks. And once you know, then go do it. But the fun part is watch how once you know what to do, you still don't do it. That's that fun part. That's why I'm giving you all these books, because you're going to reach that moment where you realize exactly how to do what you want to do, but then you still don't do it. That's the part you got to be prepared for. Success is not hard. Making money online is not hard. Being healthy is not hard. Going to the gym's not hard. None of this shit is hard. If I can do it from where I came from in my life, you definitely should be able to do it. Like, we're just going to go ahead and say that. Now, moving on. Assess your business and your team. So think about the people that you work with. I can tell you right now, for instance, the sales script that you're going to go over in this program with TikTok works like fire. Ridiculous. Copy paste, virtual assistant runs it. There are plenty of calls on a daily basis that come through. That is through a copy paste sales script. That copy paste sales script is designed to make sure that we can find the people that we can actually help. People might not like scripts. Oh, it seems inauthentic. Well, congratulations. You live in a reality where there are too many people in the world to just sit there and spend your time on every one. And you got to find people that can execute on processes. And that process, I can tell you right now with 100% confidence, if you are in any niche that is close to mine and you just alter the verbiages like, hey, I do this health and wellness stuff all day long. Like, yeah, I do. Definitely got some suggestions for you if you're open to hearing them, huh? Just like to ask if I start randomly, being grandiose and telling you all these things that you might not care about. And then you let the person affirm on those. So assessing your business means like finding out like where's my loose ends? What's bad? This goes back to creating multiple streams of income. Like, should you be starting out with multiple streams or should you focus on one specific service? That's a Jeopardy question. Only you know the answer to that because this is your business, not mine. But if you're following what we do, then you would focus on one. You would focus specifically on chatbots, maybe run some advertisements too. And then team takes time. So team time. Don't magically just immediately try to start with a team. Get your processes down, understand your processes, know how long they take you, because how long they take you is going to take another person much longer because they're your process. So like my average expectation when somebody's creating some sort of informational resource, being able to put together like 45 pages in a day and just mind dump all of it out and create the resource, like the 38-page PDF, did that in one day. Just books, research links, everything. Here's all these, copy paste. Took me longer to link all the links than it actually did to write the document itself. So when you're looking at assessing how your business works or how your team works, first start by building your business, building yourself, understanding your own processes, recognizing how long that they take you, and then you can venture out. Like, I would definitely suggest to start with a VA first. Like, if you're new to all of this, find yourself a solid virtual assistant. There are tons of websites where you can find VAs, and then find one that you're able to actually train yourself. So like my VA has gone through my program, so he understands the same things that I understand. That's the whole point. Like, if you don't get what I get, then when we talk, it's kind of just like I'm talking at you instead of with you. Because if you've never read the books that I've read, then we're lacking frame of reference for each other. So that's why like these, yeah, I can explain to him. I'm like, yeah, man, that's more of like just mirror the person. And he's like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, he's like, what do I say to this? I'm like, mirror, period. And then he gets it. He's like, oh, okay, I got to find a statement in here that I could mirror or parrot, how to talk to anybody, or Chris Voss never split the difference. I got to find that mirroring point in here. So your team is going to be as good as you make them. So for instance, that guy came to me, didn't have a sales script. Here's my sales script, my friend. Here's this, here's the execute, here's this, how this works, and bam, success. So if you use the sales script that we have in the program plus a virtual assistant and apply that to any business, almost not any business, I can tell you that it doesn't work for like certain contracting type companies. Because I will tell businesses, yeah, we have a pretty aggressive strategy where we're going to DM every single one of your competitor. We're going to DM everybody. We'll DM competitors, try to see if there's connections that we can make. We'll just go all out. And sometimes that works in some niches. It doesn't work in all niches, but it definitely works in any online business. Offline businesses, it doesn't work as well. You can still have a VA manage the page, maybe go through DMing some people here and there. You'll definitely be able to convert, but like the time versus dollar amount that converts off of that, it's not really worth it. So if it's an online business that's a little bit higher ticket, then sweet, do that. And moving on. So now turn liabilities into assets. This is the easiest one for me to speak on. I used to play video games for about like 50, well, not 50 hours. That's a little bit much. I think maybe 50, probably at least. Yeah, I've stayed up for 2 days straight easily. I used to play video games pretty much every single day, all day, every weekend, and on the weekdays when I had free time. So a liability for me was playing video games and wanting to be like the best, like finishing first in PvP, like absolutely dominating people, just being at the top of the ladder and everything, getting gladiator ranks because you're so good at PvP, all this dumb, useless stuff that adds up to nothing. So a liability for me used to be sitting down and playing video games all day long, doing absolutely nothing useful with my life. So how do I turn that liability into an asset? Well, now I can tell you nowadays I play that for less than about an hour, and that would be every once in a while. And playing those video games, if I am on those video games when I do play them, if it does go past an hour, I guarantee you that I am pushing my brand out there. I'm saying, yo, go check this out. I DM people. I run a sales script on people that I'm freaking playing with. Like, hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Message them. I've met people that are like freaking presidents of these pipe companies and they're doing e-commerce, selling millions of dollars. So a liability used to be a video game. And if I do get on that video game that I used to play, it's now an asset because, yeah, you'd be crazy to think that I'm not about to go find out if there's people on there that have businesses. As soon as you log in, yo, anybody got an online business? What's your business? I'd love to connect with you. Enter. Find other people. Like if you're gonna go play video games, be like, yo, man, what do you do in real life? You're gonna come across some people you never thought you'd come across. You're like, whoa, wait, what? Like this person's playing this game right here. So liabilities, assets. This is also going to talk about money too. So for instance, whenever you do increase your income, you don't need to buy a fancier car. Like you don't. There's absolutely no use of a nice car except for the fact that you might want one. That's pretty much all. Like anybody out there is not worrying about your car. Like they're not worrying about your bank account. Like everybody that's on the internet that would say, "Oh, how much money do you have?" Like you go talk to a real business owner, they're not saying, "Oh, how much money do you have in your bank account?" Like so these weird anomalies that exist don't exist in the real world, they just exist online. So liability, thinking that you need to do certain things that you don't have to do. Asset, doing the things that you have to do, not the things that you think you have to do. So yeah, just speaking into that specifically because I've been down the road like I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get this car and I'm gonna waste $16,000 on modifications and then drive around and then sell it for way less than I bought it for and way less than the cost of the modifications. So do whatever you want. I'm just a firm believer in not really worrying about what you drive because when you show up to a meeting, guess what? You're parking your car in the parking garage. Haha, look at that. Nobody's going to see your car anyways. Or if you're driving somewhere else, well, hopefully you're not driving and somebody else is driving. Haha, look at that. You're not even driving your car. And then when it comes to a car, liability, putting your car in your own name, asset, putting your car in your business's name. There's a lot of different cool things you can do, and we're not really speaking on those inside of the program because I'm not here to give you that level of financial advice. If I do find somebody that's in the finance side, they will be in the program. The person that I asked, unfortunately, they said no. Well, actually, they didn't say no. Like they've managed over $1 billion in accounting, and I go to them for all my questions. I have that, luxury, I guess you could call it. I'm lucky to be able to have that, if anything. But yeah, I asked them. I was like, "Hey, would you be willing to do this?" And they said, "There's absolutely no amount of money you can pay me to teach this to somebody else." And I said, "Okay, great." So unfortunately, that's not going to be here. And then last one on here, giving back. If this entire video wasn't an example of giving back, I don't know what is. And giving back would be like the reciprocity advantage. Like I'm going to give people all of the information that they need to be successful for free because eventually, you realize, all right, some people genuinely have $0. Like I'm thinking about the person that I used to be where I started. That's why I just spent 50 minutes with you reviewing this book because this is the stuff that changes it all. The skills that you learn in here, they're not going to be useful in 20 years. I mean, they might be useful in 20 years. I think that we're going to have a different platform than Facebook based on conversations I've had with other people trying to build these giants just on Facebook. I don't know where the world's going. but I know the mindset that you have and how you interact with the world around you is forever going to be useful for you. Whatever you do to make money in the world will probably change in the future. Might already be different next week or next month. I don't know. But I can tell you, giving back is the most important thing. I think about everything that I didn't have when I needed it most. And that's why I created this entire program the way it is, the website the way it is, all the free information, all the books, all everything, because I want people to truly understand that if you want to understand this stuff, it's not just some topic that you, oh, yeah, food, okay. It is an entire shift in your person, because giving back for free, people might not value that sometimes, but the smart people will. Like when I see something that's free, I'm like, great, sounds great. Let's go do it immediately. Not even going to think about it, because chances are might be beneficial, might not be beneficial. It's not a big deal. You're smart enough to know better by now, and you should know if you should read these books. So yeah, giving back's huge. And just to give you an example of giving back on this, he'll talk about donating with churches, being able to create resources for other people. Like I want more people to understand how health works, so I can have a community of people that I can talk to about this stuff. Like it's super cool being able to connect with somebody that's like, yeah, I've been fasting for 3 days, and people have been asking me if I'm pregnant because I'm glowing. And then I laugh my ass off, because that's a funny thing that happens on like your third day fast. Your skin you just look so different when you look at yourself in the mirror. It's insane. I'm not telling you to go do that, but like, giving back, having somebody run into fasting documents, fasting for 3 days, talking to me and being like, yo, dude, what? So really cool stuff. And then last thing for giving back on me would be, I like paying for people's stuff. I like being able to like buy somebody something that I used to never be able to buy, because I used to go to the store and buy stuff for myself and be like, oh, they're like, it was declined. And I'm like, whoops, I must have grabbed the wrong debit card. And then I would leave humiliated. So, do you think you should read this book? Probably. I hope you enjoyed this review. There will be more down below, and we're going to start transitioning into the books that start to go into the health aspects. First thing I wanted you to understand is how to not live in the illusion of the fear of truth or be a child of an emotionally immature parent. So the reverse engineer process on these should be looking something like this right now. So, children of emotionally immature parents, you're not going to be an emotionally immature adult anymore. You can't. It does not work like that. Living in the illusion of the fear of truth. Well, as a child, we're taught not to talk to strangers, but as an adult, strangers give you everything. So you should start talking to more of them, because you have no idea how much your world's about to change if you decide to like talk to that stranger, maybe work with them. 10x rule by Grant Cardone. You're going to have to do 10 times the things you think you're going to have to do to get to where you want to be. And you're going to have to untether yourself from all of that, because there's a lot of negativity that's going to come along the way when you first start. Start with why, because if you don't have a why, there will be no way that you're going to get there, because you have not enough strong enough why. If there's no why, there's no way. The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek, realizing that you're going to have to take finite activities that are really monotonous, really boring, not fun, but you're going to have to do those because they're extremely important. And you always want to do the really boring stuff that you're not motivated to do first, because I'll tell you, later in the day, you're going to push that stuff off. The one thing, now we're going to understand time blocking, because like, what are we supposed to do with our time? And that's the reprogramming phase. 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go do what we got to do to get to where we want to be. Sell or be sold. Oh, you're not the first person that's going to try to sell this. You're not the last person to try to sell this, which is the first, not last book. But sell or be sold means at all moments in time you are trying to sell yourself. I'm trying to sell you right now to go read this book after you're done watching this video. Like, please go read this book because it's valuable. The reciprocity advantage. Here I am giving you well over an hour-long video reviewing a book with you, because that's how much I want you to read it. Giving you with the expectation of getting absolutely nothing. Like if you click the link and buy the book, I might get 25 cents. So yay, 25 cents. I could buy a gumball, and I don't like gumballs because I think they're disgusting. So Way of the Wolf. Yeah. Tonality, all of it. If you're trying to communicate with people and you're trying to sell, you need to understand and pick up on those parts of conversation that you may not have been aware of before. Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. After everything I've explained in this video right here, does it sound like a crazy idea that you should go read this book? Did you know that that was a literal line-for-line script from that book? The 3-Minute Rule by Brian Prevet. By the end of this 3-minute video, you might learn some things about your company that you don't know now. These are all scripts that take you to where you want to go. Right words, right place, wrong words, wrong place. And then last one, first, not last. You're not going to be the first person or the last person that tries this, but if you decide to 10x, you might actually make this happen. So now once you read all of these books, here's the crazy part. You're going to read them all again in reverse, because once you realize the 10x mentor is going to explain a lot of the shit you got to do, you're going to be like, how the heck do I even know how to do any of that? Recognize this. You're not going to be the first person or last person that decides to send a 3-minute audit to somebody. But if you focus on never splitting the difference and the way of the wolf by using reciprocity to sell or be sold, you're going to be able to do really good at these 3-minute audits. You're not going to want to do these 3-minute audits or pick up the phone and cold call strangers because it's so outside of your normal reality, where even if I told you right now, calling 100 people a day for the next 90 days will significantly change and solve probably a majority of your financial problems that you've had your entire life. You're gonna have to count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pick up that phone and call people and focus on the one thing is where you call people, because calling those people might be a part of the finite game, but that aligns with the infinite goal where you have what you want. And why? Why do you want what you want? Because you've untethered from the things that you've been taught and you've learned to 10x roll your life. You're not living in the illusion of the fear of truth anymore because you're not a child of an emotionally immature parent. So I hope I drove the point home here with these first set of books that I'd like you to read. And welcome to the program. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to learn here. It's going to be real uncomfortable at first. That's okay. But if you decide to do it, you'll be glad you did because you'll have a better life. So don't be scared to read these books and have your entire reality invalidated, because that makes room for a new and improved reality. So I'll see you in more of the book reviews down below. Told you I owe you 50. So I don't know how many we have right now, but we're definitely going to have 50 and probably more than 50 in the future. So as I look down at the timer at 5558, I guess those are the angel numbers telling me I should probably stop this video, and I will see you in the next module.